Kia ora te whānau, ko Simone Ishinabe tuko ingoa. He kai ko toi aho, no kura te arare whatever. I would like to take a few minutes to explain my thinking and processes I went through when developing this logo and symbol for our community of learning. A few months ago, I was approached by Matuahami to try and put something together that represented the 4 schools in our community. I asked for some feedback on just to identify a couple of key words and things that the coal represented in our schools that linked our schools together. So I was given a list of different words, which you can see there, and those really helped to drive my thinking in terms of relating the symbols found in Tau Māori and Toi Māori and how they would link in a logo. Some of the key features of my design in the early stages, I identified some of the key features being the potama, the steps of knowledge, which you can see centrally here. And I also looked at the mangopare, which is a symbol of representing the hammerhead shark for tenacity, strength, and that fighting spirit, which you can see following this shape here. I also looked at the mangotepe, which is a symbol in design that interlinks and repeats upon itself. And this represents the genealogy and the community and collectiveness of a whānau and a group and how they work together, and that represents ultimately that lifelong learning for us in this design. For the Pacifica learners, I looked at the overlapping spear shape, which you can see in the middle central here of this design, and how this represents that coming together, working hard work, and that sort of fighting spirit. The blossoms that are located on the side here as well, that you can see represent the Pacific Islands and the beauty within them. I also looked at using a plaited rope design, which you can see flowing up from the middle of the spears, and that is to show how by coming together collectively, joining, linking, braiding or plaiting different aspects together, that can create a strong bond, which is ultimately what we're trying to do for the kahuiako, being the community, our learners, whānau, and us teachers and learners and educators, coming together to make strong links. As well, when you pull both sides of the rope, it only tightens, it doesn't loosen. So that's ultimately the design I was going for. As we move along in the design process, I played around with lots of different drawings and different concepts. And when I was thinking of an overall shape to embody the logo and the design, I looked at the hoi shape, which falls under this side of the design. Sometimes it's pointed, sometimes it's rounded, but I moved away from a rounded shape into sort of this hoi shape, obviously representing our links to the Waikato River, being a really, really important feature of all 4 schools that are in this coal, and also to a local iwis, Waikato Tainui, and the whole metaphorical idea and concept of being on a journey and paddling towards a goal of an education. So ultimately the shape, the designs sort of morphed and shifted, and I played around with different combinations of the symbols and motifs within it, but I always wanted the potama, the steps of knowledge, to be really central in my designs. So as I moved through, after getting a little bit of feedback again from Matuahami on the direction in which they, the coal seat to go, looking at this hoi shape here, the design you have in front of you is slightly different, but ultimately it follows the same concept. So we've got the spears linking down with the potama here, stepping up, the braided ropes on either side with the flowers, and then this mangotepe design here, being that community, that collectiveness, that never-ending lifelong learning through the generations. There's also the mangopare symbol here, which obviously symbolizes that moving forward, that strength, and the the tenacity to never give up, and that trying new things, which is ultimately what we're doing here in the kahuako. Also, the Niho Taniwha design, which you can see down here, represents the teeth of the taniwha, and it's an iconic Waikato Tainui symbol that I wanted to, instead of trying to fit inside of the design that I created, I wanted it to be the blanket that our design falls onto and is surrounded by and embedded within. So as you'll see on your design, it falls into the space around the hoi, and our design has the logo He Piko He Taniwha, meaning around every bend there is a leader. So this is how I developed the design and came up with the concepts using my knowledge and understanding and skills. I hope you've enjoyed this presentation. Thank you.